Well, hello there, good people. Hi, I'm Jason, Green Country Agroforestry. It's Tuesday, June the 16th. I'm about a day behind my original schedule. Yesterday was the day I was supposed to get started on transplanting my butternut squash out to the yard. I finally managed to get my weeding out here done just this morning. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at that butternut squash that we started in the little collars. We'll see how far they progressed. We'll have a look at some of the extra measures that I've taken to see if I can get some of those weak seeds to germinate, and we'll get started transplanting those squash out here along these yellow lines. We'll be spacing them in 8-foot squares. The PONCA variety of butternut squash is supposed to have only 6-foot vines. Those should fit fairly easily inside of an 8-foot square. Should cover up most of the area inside that space and give us lots of good squash in the process. I'm going to go ahead and grab that tray. I'll show you what they look like now, and we'll get started on planting. Away. I'm going to show you a little trick for accelerating seed germination of squashes and gourds. Alright, so these are squash seeds, and we know from some of the gourds, in order to get germination at all, you have to nick the seed coat. So let's get some sweet seeds out. See, these are varying sizes. Some of them, like that one there, I don't know what's going on with this one. These, I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. This one's cracked.
Oh, that should make it easy then.
Well, I don't know. If it was cracked and it got wet and mold got in and the seed inside has been damaged, then who knows. Now, putting a nick in the seed coat helps with the germination process. But we're going to go one step further. I put a nick in the seed coat, but I'm going to go ahead and actually try to remove the seed coat. The seed's inside. You see, we think of this here as the seed, but that's actually the seed plus a hard shell that covers it. If we could bring the camera, follow my finger to right there, you'll see that we've got the seed coat sitting on top. The seed is germinated and it's pushing up and out. And it's lifting that up, but the seed coat's still on the top there. Okay, follow the finger. So back to here, what I'm going to try to do is use my fingernail clippers. Remove the outer edge of that seed coat, which should help allow me to open it up. So now, if this seed is having difficulty, if it's having trouble because it's too old perhaps, it's having trouble breaking through that seed coat in the germination process, this should just give it a better chance at survival, we would hope. Alright, so we're looking at this tray of little collars with their butternut squash in them. We can see the places where we had the seeds that we split out. A couple of them have already come up really big. There's a few coming along there and there. We've got, I believe, 20 out of the 24 up now. There's just 1, 2, I think there's one here, 3, and then of course this one's still coming up here, 4 of the 24 spots that we don't have a squash up, but there's extras here and here coming up. There's an extra one there. Looks like an extra one there too. I might be able to transplant some of those out. Let's go ahead and get these in the ground. I've got a bucket full of dirt I've already soaked with a bit of water. Make it nice and moist. There we go. So that's what we'll be transplanting into. And of course, everywhere there's a yellow string, I put a squash plant in, and we'll be putting them in at every other row for a total of 24. Some of them are going to be right underneath those bean poles. It's going to be exciting. Good. Well, right here is as good a place as any to get started. Ooh, okra plant this. Stepped on or something here. Get it propped up. Alright, so right here's as good a place as any to get started. We're going to just pull back our mulch at this point. Mulch back out of the way. Alright. So we will be cleared down to soil. This is soil right here. It's not mulch, soil. It's surrounded by mulch. I'm just going to get a nice big double handful of this mushroom compost and topsoil mix. Make a hole in that. There's that good surface for a little seedling squash to go into. Let's find one. Let's take one of these squash plants and for a look. I'm going to hold this up so that you can see it in the camera. If you look at the underside, right there, you see where the roots are coming out the bottom. So the roots coming out the bottom, it's not getting root bound. Of course, I can pick it up. The squash plant doesn't fall out because I compacted that really well. Makes a little plug at the bottom, but it's still loose at the top. So we have a squash plant, and I'm just transplanting the entire collar out there to the garden. Entire collars, plant and all, plant, dirt, everything. Settle them down right there. And bring our mulch in. Just like so. Water it in good. Okay, now we're over here by the beans. These are the Cherokee Trail of Tears black beans, pole beans, in the process of climbing up these strings attached to this pole here. And this part is the part that's really experimental. At least for me, this is the experiment. I wanted to see how well having this particular type of bean growing, planted a little bit earlier, of course, so they can get established, not get smothered out by the squash. Let's see how well having this bean and this squash growing together works out. Pre-moisten soil, drop it in the hole. And once again, we got our squash plant roots coming out the bottom. If you can see those coming out the bottom, not getting root bound inside of the pot, and no transplant shock. We're just going to drop this right on into the hole. That's just like that. So, good soil contact with the roots, and put the mulch in. Our squash plant's ready to go. Okay, so here's the theory that I have working with these plants and the way they're arranged. the beans are going to continue to grow. They're going to climb up the strings all the way to the peak of the pole, providing a tent of shade around the base of where the squash plant is. The squash plant will grow up and send its runners out past this ring, which is basically 3 foot in diameter around the base of the squash plant. This area inside, ordinarily, as the squash plant grows, winds up growing in the shade anyway. Only now it's going to have a protective tent of beans growing up around it. Whenever things like the vine borer moth come along, they're looking for the squash because they can smell it. They're going to find beans, and vine borers can't hurt the beans. So hopefully this will help confuse them, help keep the squash healthy, help keep the root zone of the squash shaded so it doesn't suffer an extreme loss of moisture during the heat of the day. And we'll just see how that works. Hopefully this variety of butternut doesn't take over too much. And well, good people, that's all I've got for you today. As always, if you found any part of this video informative or entertaining, please hit the like button. Don't forget to leave your comments down below, share this video, subscribe to the channel, bang the notification bell, and good people, I will catch you next time.